are you, folks? Jason Horowitz, glad to be with you on the Toyota College Football Preview Show each and every week, breaking down the most important games and each game an individual segment here on CBSSports.com. This time it's 19th ranked Florida State traveling on Labor Day to take on Clemson. The Tigers replace the three-year schedule that was FSU in Miami, but maybe this one more interesting. And for more, we bring in Spencer Tillman joining us from Houston. And Spencer, it's the 9th time that Tommy Bowden will take on his dad, but he's not just taking on Bobby Bowden. It's a whole new host of coaches in Tallahassee. What changes do you expect to see for Florida State in the first game?
Well, unless those guys have got their AARP cards already, it's just going to be another example of cheers, you know, where old guys coming together to party. But I think there is going to be a difference there. You're going to see 41-year-old who probably doesn't belong in that old clad group you just talked about, but Jimbo Fisher, the new offensive coordinator, comes over from LSU. I think that's going to be the most significant change that we see on the coaching staff because he's going to have the greatest impact. Everybody talked about Jamarcus Russell and the success he had there at LSU, but I'm telling you, it was all because, in my opinion, of the mind and the ability to play call like nobody else in college football that Jimbo Fisher possesses. So I think he's going to make a big difference for Florida State.
What does he do specifically for Drew Weatherford, who won the quarterback battle over Xavier Lee?
Well, that's a great question, Jason, because what he does is real-time game situations. There is no one better. Maybe Jeff Tedford out at Cal is comparable, but there's no one that has a better knack for when to call plays and to set up plays in situations. So in a very real sense, he becomes an extension of his quarterback on the football field. In that regard, he's a little bit like Steve Spurrier. Make no mistake about it. When Steve Spurrier's out there, he thinks he's a quarterback on the field. He's going back in time. So Jimbo Fisher, once again, has a knack to call plays in real time, become an extension of his quarterback.
And certainly Weatherford has a lot of weapons for Jimbo Fisher's offense. As for Clemson, Spencer, last year it was crash and burn at the end of the season. They finished 1-4. They return a league low 10 starters. But hey, they do have C.J. Spiller. They do have James Davis, a duo that was fantastic in the backfield, 5th best rushing attack in the nation. Will they be able to run, though, on one of the best defenses in the country?
Well, we know this, that Florida State's going to be athletic, but if there is a remedy to come in an athletic team, it's just to line up and just smash them in the mouth. And I think Spiller and Davis will be able to do that. As far as Clemson struggles historically, crashing like they did last year, and they seem to do this almost every year about that time. I call it the September swoon. The remedy, of course, is to establish a great running game and just come right at people. That's the remedy when your team starts to struggle in the finer aspects of your game. So they have two of the best tandem in terms of running backs in the country, and Spiller and Davis.
And Spiller thought about transferring because of all the talk about James Davis and knowing he would be the backup, but stayed there, which gives him a tremendous duo throughout the entire season for Tommy Bowden. All right, it's Labor Day. It's a night game. It's under the lights. It's in Death Valley. Can Clemson upset Florida State?
I don't think so. I think the intellectual property, first of all, I believe that the college game is very much a coach's game. And when you look at the intellectual property on that new staff, that revamped staff at Florida State that Bobby Bowden has put together, I think that'll be a little bit too much to overcome, along with the athleticism of Florida State.
All right, it's an interesting game in Florida State again in a Monday night game. Spencer, thanks for all the knowledge. We'll be back with you in a little bit to break down some more.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, folks, there you have it. A breakdown of number 19 FSU and unranked Clemson. The Tigers and Tommy Bowden, though, they have beat the Seminoles 3 of the last 4 years. For Spencer Tillman, I'm Jason Horowitz. For more on this game or the rest of College Football Week 1, stay right here on CBSSports.com. Take care.